Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Top 10. Today we're going to go over 10 facts about Baby Yoda that we at least know of from Season 1 of The Mandalorian. And when Season 2 is done, we can do another one for that season. So, starting off at number 1, Baby Yoda's age. Though we don't know much about Yoda's mysterious species, like their name, the films did make it clear that the diminutive Jedi's skin are extremely long-lived. Now, George Lucas always said that Yoda was supposed to be this mystical space wizard that came and went whenever he sort of wanted in the movies. You don't know his full name, you don't know much about him, you don't know his species. He's just kind of this magical being. Now, with Yoda himself living to 900 years, we do know that they get to live to be pretty old. I have some theories regarding Baby Yoda and his overall purpose that you guys can see in my podcast series on Mondays with the Den of Nerds, or as well as some that I'll break down in this video at the end. In The Mandalorian's pilot episode, Din Djarin is commissioned to retrieve a target that he is told is about 50 years old. This, of course, led to the iconic reveal of Baby Yoda, or the Child, at the end. Where Yoda was one of the wisest beings in the galaxy, 50-year-old Baby Yoda likes playing with spaceship knobs and stuffing alien frogs down his throat, and seems pretty helpless with the exception of his occasional force bursts. It does raise some questions though, like how does a species function when they are developmentally behind for so long? What does that society look like? Is this normal for his type of species, or just unique to Baby Yoda? This is something that I hope they answer in Season 2, considering Yoda told Luke that for 800 years he has trained the Jedi. Seeing as how he was 900 years old at his time of death, this means that he was training Jedi at the age of 100. So unless Baby Yoda starts going through a massive growth spurt in the next 20 to 50 years, I'm gonna have to assume maybe he has some accelerated aging, like the other clones. Number 2. Baby Yoda is the third of his species to appear in Star Wars. Now, I know Baby Yoda is the first of his kind that Disney has added to the new canon, but George Lucas has already given us 2 others. The obvious one being that of Yoda himself, the Grand Master, but there is also another. A female Yoda named Yaddle, and she sat on the Jedi High Council in The Phantom Menace. Now, she had been on the council for more than 100 years, but before the attack of the clones, she did go on to die, saving Anakin in a comic video that I did explain all by itself. Number 3. Baby Yoda has the Force. When the Mando was trampled and so close to being savagely killed by a beast known as the Mudhorn, which looked similar to the reek that Anakin and Obi-Wan fought in the arena on Geonosis, he was saved at the last minute by Baby Yoda. The little green channeled the Force and lifted the mighty beast into the air, allowing the Mandalorian to kill it. The power was impressive, but it also drained the infant, and then he collapsed, completely spent and slept for hours. Now, this ability raised more questions about the little green species. Are they all this powerful? Are they all Force sensitives? Or only some? Or is Baby Yoda the actual Yoda clone? Which I highly doubt, since the eye colors are completely different. Yoda has green and Baby Yoda has brown, but hey, maybe there's some clone mutations or something. What I'd also like to add is that Baby Yoda can use some more aggressive, dark side powers as well, such as force choking Cara Dune. Number 4. The Client fell in love with Baby Yoda. The actor who portrayed the man known only as the Client, Werner Herzog, is well known as a famous director of documentary films. The Baby Yoda they use in The Mandalorian is actually a puppet and not a CGI character. Herzog had a real fun time interacting with the puppet on set. He would sometimes address Baby Yoda as if he was real and not made of rubber. As the director of some of the best episodes of the show and the future showrunner on the Obi-Wan series, Deborah Chow, put it, one of the weirdest memories I had on set in my life was trying to direct Werner with the baby. How did I end up with Werner Herzog and Baby Yoda? That was amazing. Werner, or Werner, had absolutely fallen in love with the puppet. He, at some point, had literally forgotten that it wasn't a real being and was talking to the child as though it was real, an existing creature. Herzog was so enamored with Baby Yoda that when producer-director Dave Filoni, who had been the showrunner on the Clone Wars and Rebels, as well as Jon Favreau, wanted to shoot some scenes without the cute puppet and instead discussed adding in a computer-generated version in case their live-action creation wasn't convincing enough, the famed documentary director let them both have it. He called them cowards and told them to leave Baby Yoda in the shot. Number 5. Baby Yoda can heal with the Force. When the bounty hunter guild leader, Grief Karga, was bitten by a venomous creature. The scoundrel was a goner, or at least he should have been. Baby Yoda, who somehow understood what was going on, used the Force to instantly heal the guild leader's wounds, similar to how Rey did in The Rise of Skywalker, and how many Jedi do in Legends. Force healing hasn't been seen on screen prior to Episode 9 or on the Disney Plus streaming show, but it is an incredibly cool ability that many Jedi in Legends have done and only so few on screen. It's been around in the Star Wars Old Expanded Universe for years and something that a lot of the games used, such as Jedi Knight 2. Did Baby Yoda react instinctively in the Force to heal Karga, or is this 50-year-old infant much more aware than he lets on? I mean, when we first met Yoda on Dagobah, he pretended to be this silly, crazy alien living in the swamps looking for Luke's flashlight, and not the former Grand Master of the Jedi Order. Maybe Baby Yoda will hit an accelerated growth period and we'll see him become a teenager. Number 6. Baby Yoda's genes. One of the questions that still remains in The Mandalorian is, what does the remains of the Empire want with Baby Yoda? We know the client is an Imperial who had an obsession with gathering information on the cute little creature. In fact, as the Mando or Darren learned, the client preferred the baby alive, but would take him dead for a lesser reward, which suggests that he is more interested in Baby Yoda's genetics than the infant himself. That is where Dr. Pershing comes in. He may be a cloner, and if the Empire is interested in the genetics of a powerful Force being, it could hint at the return of the controversial midichlorians, which I thought were pretty cool. Made a lot of sense. So number 7, Baby Yoda, clone or not. Though I raised the question of whether Baby Yoda is a clone or not, the Ugnaught Quill seems to think he isn't. Mando's honorable assistant was a former Imperial and had been familiar with the cloning process, and believed Baby Yoda to be the result of nature and not science. How one can detect such things without doing genetic tests or using the Force, I don't really know. But then again, I've never met any clones. Or maybe I have. Number 8, Baby Yoda, a future Sith. When the Mandalorian Din Djarin was having a friendly arm wrestling contest with former Republic shock trooper Cara Dune, the little green infant grew concerned his Mandalorian protector was in real danger, and that he was struggling against Cara's grasp. So Baby Yoda reached out with the Force and began to choke her, Vader style. The Mando stopped him and Cara survived, but it did show that this little cute creature may not yet realize the value of other beings' lives, or worse, Baby Yoda is attuned with the dark side. Now, I don't really think he is, I just think he uses the Force in general, which is how it should be used, but he definitely may need a lesson on what powers to use and which ones not to use, like Force lightning, perhaps. Number 9, Baby Yoda's adulthood. Baby Yoda is 50 years old, but he has the mind and body of an infant. Born around the time same as Anakin Skywalker, it raises the question, how long does he have to live before he reaches his species' teenage years? And what about young adulthood? 400 years? 500? Well, according to canon, the great Yoda himself became a Jedi Master at the age of 100. So that could mean that his and Baby Yoda species could have infant years that are unusually long, but then perhaps rapidly mature somewhere between 50 and 100, which is something I mentioned in the very first fact, but it still leaves the question open. Is he all natural? Or is he an accelerated being of some sorts? Maybe not a clone, but maybe they've done something to him already. And what's the reason for this? Is it for Palpatine studies? Is it for Palpatine to transfer his essence into? Who knows yet? Number 10. Baby Yoda merch. Now, sometimes films and TV shows can have spoilers and plot leaks accidentally months ahead of their premiere because of their tie-in merchandising. As the surprise reveal of Baby Yoda was something Jon Favreau was adamant about keeping a secret until the episode aired, he had asked Disney to hold off on the Baby Yoda toys and other products. That is why there is precious little merchandise available of perhaps the cutest alien in the galaxy or in sci-fi movies in general. So once Baby Yoda had been revealed to the audience, Disney had to hastily assemble t-shirts, mugs, and everything else. That's why we're only now starting to see some Baby Yoda stuff come out, and why we didn't see it in the very beginning. Now, the shortage, which at this point must have cost Disney millions as they had no idea how popular Baby Yoda would become, actually parallels what happened to Kenner, the toy maker of the original 1977 Star Wars figures. They were too faced with a huge and unexpected holiday demand for action figures, which forced the company to sell empty boxes with vouchers for the toy to be redeemable for the consumers the following year. Hope you enjoyed this top 10 facts about Baby Yoda from season 1 that we know so far. Make sure you watch my other top 10 videos that I have a playlist on. There's tons of videos for you to enjoy, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, remember, the Force will be with you always.